Testing 1 2. Salakia. Hey, Shalom, Adawan. What's going on, sir? Shalom, Adawan. Hey, Shalom, sis. All right. Let's see. We have to get this started right now. Psst. Where you going? Okay. All right. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar the Thumb Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. This is what, Wednesday law class. Today we're gonna be getting into we're gonna get back into lust, right? This topic is important because it's like the things that we see in this modern day society, you know what I mean? Everything is based on lust. Everything in this nation is based on lust. Things that you desire, that you want to have, because that's the definition of what lust is. It's having a strong desire, right? So having a strong desire of all of these different things that are pretty much, you know what I mean, godless in this society. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that America represents is all about being godless. You know what I'm saying? They want you to chase money. They don't want you to chase, you know what I mean, structure. They don't want you to chase morals. They don't want you to chase all these things that can make you a particular decent person. They want you to chase the things that make them more powerful than the others. You know what I'm saying? So they focus all of your desires on what? Money, sex, drugs, you know what I mean? All these things that don't have any place in this truth. You know what I mean? All the things that will take your focus off of, you know what I mean, serving the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You know what I mean? That's what this place is based off of. You know what I mean? It's based off of, how can I say, feeding your lust, feeding those things that you desire the most. Because, you know what I mean, when you speak to people who actually have the things that they want you to go get, like the women, the money, the fame, you know what I mean, all those things that America wants you to desire to have. When you speak to a person who actually has those things, they still have an emptiness inside them. They still have a wicked spirit on them. You know what I mean? They still have those things of how can I say, unfulfillment. Like they're not fulfilled. And the reason why they feel those way because they actually got the things that our oppressors wanted you to feel like you need it, and they don't need it. You really don't need it. You know what I mean? So now now we're sitting here at the point where it's just like, what is it that we're supposed to have? Really, we're supposed to have is truth. We're really supposed to have, you know what I mean, these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? All Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's exactly what we're supposed to have in order to be able to, you know what I mean, can I say, be able to be fulfilled within our spirit. You know what I'm saying? So this nation gives us, you know what I mean, they advertise everything that your flesh wants. You know what I mean, it's an advertisement. It's a commercial. It's a music video. It's a movie. You know what I mean? All these things that your flesh wants. That's what this society brings to you. You know what I mean? So that's why it's very important to have control of your flesh. That way you won't get pushed into any type of lustful, you know what I mean, lustful desires of feeling like you need these things that your flesh tells you that you need. What that is. Okay. So like it. But yeah, so let's get into it. So yeah, so that's exactly what this society is pushing on us. They push our women to be whores. They push our men to be, you know what I mean, just distracted with the wants of some type of power in this society. Really, the power in this society means nothing because the Lord, you know what I mean, is showing exactly how weak this place is. The Lord is showing exactly how fragile this place is, how much of a lie their so-called power is. Because look at how much we suffer in this society. Look at how much we look at what they did to us on gas prices, on food prices, on living prices. Just for, you know what I mean, just to have a place to live is damn near just everything you make. You know what I mean? You work yourself to death, and everything you make is just going towards the expenses of what it takes to live out here. You know what I mean, in this society. So, you know what I mean, the money is, it's the more that we get put deeper and deeper into this poverty mind, or this damn impoverished, how can I say, ways of living, which is like, you know what I mean, all the prices being upped for everything. You know what I mean, the deeper we get into it, the more people have a lust to get the things that they feel will get them some type of ease out of this. You know what I'm saying? Ease out of this poverty. That's that the deeper we get into it, which is why it's very, very important right now in this time period to get into this truth. You know what I mean? And stop playing with this truth, because at the end of the day, things are just going to keep getting worse. Things are going to keep getting worse, and people's desires to want to do evil to be able to thrive out here is going to get greater. You know what I mean? Like how the story goes in Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I mean? Just a wicked. Like that's exactly what it's going to be out here as things keep on getting worse and worse. It's not ever going to get better out here. You know what I mean? This is the beginning of sorrows. It's just going to continue to keep getting worse out here. It's going to continue to keep the prices are going to continue to keep raising on everything. You know what I mean? The hardships are going to continue to keep raising. And what is that going to do? That's going to make you either want to get closer to God, or it's going to make you want to get closer to your lustful ways. You know what I mean? Doing wickedness, doing evil in order to be able to survive out here. You know what I mean? Right now you got women who are just, you know what I mean, selling their bodies just to get by, just to be able to have nice things. You know what I mean? They're prostitution is like the new norm now. You know what I mean? Like men are, you know what I mean, destroying their own people just to have a couple of dollars in their pocket. You know what I mean? Selling drugs, you know what I mean, pimping women, like, you know what I mean, like all these different type of things of wickedness people are doing just to be able to try to get by and to try to, you know what I mean, find a way to thrive through this society. But at the end of the day, this society, this nation is going to continue to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and to the point where it's just like you have absolutely no choice but to either pick a side. You know what I mean? Either you're going to be down for the truth, or you're going to be down for, you know what I mean, the wickedness of this world. You know what I mean? And your decision is going to lead to what your judgment is going to be. At the end of the day, Shalom says, what's going on? So it's very important for us to, you know what I mean? It's very important for us to learn self-discipline, to learn self-righteousness, to learn all these different things, and to get into these law, statutes, and commandments, and be able to have a moral mindset, a moral way of living, and really feel complete within ourselves that we are living the right way. We are on the right path into being into the body of Christ. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's mainly important for that. But we can get into some scriptures on. Okay. So first scripture we can get into is 1 Corinthians 10 and 6. First Corinthians 10 and 6. Let's see. All right. So The book of First Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 6 says, now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. So I gotta say, shall I start? No, we'll leave it at that. So it's important not to lust after evil things. Evil things being, you know what I mean, whoredom, being freaking, you know what I mean, your lust for power, your lust for money, like, you know what I mean, like all these different things, because these things become, it starts off as a how can I say, it starts off as a desire, then it builds up to a lust. And once you find yourself in lust, then you are it's pretty much out of your control at that time period. Once you're lusting after something, it's out of your control. That's why it's important for you to know what's the rights and what's the wrongs of things that you should be doing and things that you shouldn't be doing. That way you don't lust after you don't desire the wrong things. Because once you desire the wrong things, you get a taste of the wrong things, you start to have a lust for it. You know what I mean? And then after that, you know what I mean, what mainly happens? It either becomes, you know what I mean, it becomes an issue. It becomes like an addiction or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that happen those are the steps that happen that leads you into your path of destruction. Because at the end of the day, eventually it's always going to lead into a path of death. Your lust of the flesh is going to lead to a path of death. You know what I mean? You're going to overdo something to your grave, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's what lust is leading you to, and that's why the Most High warns us about not lusting over evil things. Now, the things that you see in this world, the things that they have us doing out here in this society, those are the things that, you know what I'm saying? Those are the things that lead us into how can I say it? The things that they want you to do in this nation, in this society, are the things that are eventually going to lead you into lusting over evil things. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to get into your scriptures. You have to get into this truth. You have to get into this body. You have to learn the rights and the wrongs, because it's easy to mistake a simple desire into lusting after something so evil. You know what I mean? Something evil, and leading you out of, you know what I mean, the zeal of the Most High. It's easy to be put into that situation. So that's why it's important to know your rights and wrongs. You know what I'm saying? It's important to know that you shouldn't, you know what I mean, lust over wicked women. You shouldn't lust over, you know what I mean, materialistic things. You shouldn't lust over, you know what I mean, money and power. You shouldn't lust over those things, because at the end of the day, if you are walking in righteousness, if you're walking solid with the Most High provides everything that you need in your life. You know what I mean? The things that you need in life, you're going to be provided those things. So lusting over something means that you have a need for something, and if you have a need for something that's not of the Most High, then it's of what? It's of evil. It's something of from our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that's going to lead you into sin and lead you into death, pretty much. So let's keep going. Let's get Galatians 5, chapter 5 and verse 16. Galatians 5 and 16. Or is it 15? No, Galatians 5 and 16. Okay, so the book of Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16 says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. So you have to be walking in the spirit. You have to be walking with the zeal of the Most High. You have to know your rights and wrongs, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. You have to be out of your flesh, because your flesh is going to want you to do things that, I mean, are eventually going to lead you into sin. If you are fulfilling the lust of your flesh, you are either leading yourself into sin or you're sinning, pretty much. So the thing about it is, let's see, the lust of the flesh. The lust of the flesh is, I mean, for example, it's just like, okay, no, we can get into that later. It's just it's a carnal want for something. Like you just want something carnally. You know what I mean? Really, you should be just dealing with the spirit. You should be dealing with what should be fulfilling to your spirit. Which, if you are on the right path with that, then you know that you're walking, you know what I mean, straight with the Most High. But if it's something that you just feel like, oh, I want to, you know what I mean, I want to go smoke that cigarette. I want to go smoke that blunt. I want to go buy a whore. I want to go, you know what I mean? I want to go just go fulfill this lust of having this crack. I mean, when you see crackheads, you know what I mean, crackheads will do anything to get that crack. They'll sell a baby, they'll steal a car, you know what I mean, they'll steal anything. They'll do whatever they can in order to fulfill that fleshly lust of wanting to smoke crack. You know what I mean? And they'll stop at nothing in order to fulfill that demon. You know what I mean? That spirit. So let's see. What else is a good example? I feel like I'm just on the same topics every time. Let's see. Oh, like the lust of wanting, like this, it might sound stupid, but the lust to want to eat pork. You know what I'm saying? Like some people really avoid being in this truth because of pork. I've seen it happen many times. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people love pork so much that they cannot, don't do that, please. A lot of people love pork so much that they will avoid knowing that what we say is true, knowing that what we teach, you know what I mean, are the things we learn in here, the things that we do, knowing that those things are right out the scriptures, they are 100% correct. They'll know that, and they'll still not be able to be able to put that pork down. They'll still not be able to walk in the right path of righteousness because they need that pork. No. So yeah, it's like it's a lot of different things that people will lust after and that things that people would do in order just to fulfill that lust of their flesh. You know what I mean? And it's if you're not really walking, if you really don't fear the Most High, it's one of the most hardest things to be able to deliver yourself from. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a all-time fear for the Most High, and in order to be able to kick those habits, to kick those lustful desires. What's wrong? Jay, handle that, please. So, okay, let's keep going. So that was Galatians 5 and 16. Let's go to 1 John 2 and 16. 1 John 2 and 16. So the book of 1 John 2 and 16 says, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world." So, okay, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the eyes. So the things that we see, like our certain senses could create a desire. The things that we see, like you could see someone on nice trips, you know what I mean, nice vacational trips, nice clothes, nice cars, nice houses, and that person can be completely wicked. That person could be completely horrible, but you still want the things that they have, the accomplishments that they have. You want those things, and those things create That's an example of having the lust of the eyes. You see things that you like. You see a lifestyle like that's why the internet is social media is very 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 tricky because people show you what they want you to see. They never show you the things that you know what I mean are how can I say they never show you the things that are a hardship to them. They never show you the things that they do that happens to them on a day-to-day lifestyle that they dislike. They show you everything that you would like, and they make their lifestyle seem like it is the go-to lifestyle that you should be trying to how can I say you should be trying to take heed of or to captivate. They'll show you the smiles and the laughs and the parties and the drinking and all that stuff like that. They don't show. They'll show you the nice vacation they have, the horse outfits and the bathing suits and everything like that. But they don't show you exactly what it took for them to have that vacation. They don't show you who's paying for it. They don't show you who's and what they're doing to those people. You know what I mean? In order to be able to have those things, they don't show you those things. They only show you the trips and the nice bags and the clothes and everything like that. They show you those things, but they don't show you what they're doing behind closed doors in order to get those things. You know what I'm saying? You see the smiles and laughs of the what do you call them, the styrofoam double cups with the lean in them and the rolled up blunts and everything like that. They'll show you all those different things on music videos and everything. The women and then the women twerking and everything like that, and you know what I mean, just them just pretty much making it seem like they're living the good life, but they don't show you exactly what's going on behind closed doors. They don't show you what they have to do in order to be able to have those things. You know what I mean? And that's why social media is like social media is it can be very wicked or it can be very educational. It's depending on how you use it. You know what I mean? It's not for you to sit there and look at someone else's life and feel like, oh yeah, well they got this and they got that and I want that and I want that, because those things are going to lead to a desire. Those things are going to lead for you lusting those things, and then you're going to be out doing evil, wicked things in order just to be able to get a taste of that type of lifestyle. And that's not what we're supposed to do. You know what I mean? That's not the lifestyle that we're supposed to have, right? So the lust of the eyes, the things you see, you know what I mean? All these things are important because it's what our oppressor uses for a way to, you know what I mean, pull us in, to pull us into his ways of how he wants us to live. You know what I mean? The reason why people have such a big issue with the things we say as far as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans only being God's chosen people, you know what I mean? God not loving everyone, you know what I mean? Christ only died for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The reason why people can get so upset is because the lust of their eyes, they really hate themselves. They spent so many years of their life trying to be like our oppressors that really what you just did was you telling them that information, you took away something in them. You took away their desire to want to be our oppressors. You took away that captivating image of, oh well, if I be amongst them, if I act like them, if I make them like me, then maybe I can be able to get the success that they have. I mean, you're taking something out of them when you push that narrative to them, because they really in their life they've spent so much time trying to be like our oppressors. They want to be accepted by our oppressors. So if it strikes a nerve to them when you sit there and you say that really it's the people who are the most damaged, the most impoverished, the most, you know what I mean, destroyed people in this nation, they're really God's chosen people. They're really the ones who the Most High loves and the Most High made a covenant with, and that Christ came, lived, suffered, and died for. You know what I mean? Those are the people. It's not for everybody, because if it's for everybody, then you're okay trying to be like your oppressors, being like the people who enslaved us, who raped and robbed us. You're okay trying to be accepted by them. You know what I mean? Because they got the trinket, So if you continue to try to be accepted by them, then you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to get at least a piece of the trinket, and you'll be able to live comfortably. So you pushing that narrative is taking something from them, because really they lust to be like our oppressors. And really, our oppressors, you know what I mean, the lifestyle that they put in front of us is nothing of what they want to be, even though that's what they are. They're real animalistic type of people. But they want you to be not just animalistic, they want you to be dumb. You know what I mean? They want you to be stupid. They want you to be controlled. You know what I mean? They want you to live a particular type of lifestyle, a destructive lifestyle, not a lifestyle where you can just be accepted amongst them. They want you to be destroyed. They want you to kill each other. They want you to pop and take every pill and drug that they can bring out in the market. You know what I mean? All these things, they want you to have these desires for these things, because eventually these things are going to destroy you. And they have destroyed us as a nation. You know what I mean? Look at us today. We're still at the bottom. We're still at the bottom to this day. We're still being destroyed by our oppressors every day. And we still try to find a way for them to love us. We still try to find a way for them to have some type of compassion for us, to feel our pain and want to treat us better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mindset that they want you. That's the mindset that they want you to be in. They want you to be in that mindset because it's easier to control someone who's trying to be liked. You know what I'm saying? It's like the most popular kid in school sitting over here taking advantage of the nerd, making it seem like, oh yeah, well, he can hang out with us, but just making him, you know what I mean, shine their shoes and, you know what I mean, fluff up their Letterman jackets and, you know what I mean, all that extra stuff. Now the nerd feels like he's accepted. He feels like he's loved by the popular kids, but really he's just being used and controlled and making it seem like he's accepted. And that's one thing that's why the Lord is saying, you know what I mean, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, because, you know what I mean, your mindset of wanting acceptance from your oppressor is just, it's pathetic. You know what I'm saying? It's been centuries, and they still haven't had no compassion on us. They still are killing us in the worst ways and treating us in the worst ways. And we still are trying to hold hands and try to find some type of, you know what I mean, sing kumbaya and have everybody just join together. And, you know what I mean? Like it's not ever going to be that way. It's not ever going to be that way. And it hasn't ever been that way. And the fact that we've had this desire for it to be like that is just shows you how destroyed we really are. Because of this power that these people have, you know what I mean, because of what we built for them through our destruction, the power that they have, we feel like we need to sell ourselves out in order just to have a piece of it. You know what I mean? And when somebody's sitting over here telling you to just be with, to segregate yourselves from your oppressors and to get together with just your people, your nation, then everybody has an issue with it. Everybody has a problem with it because they feel like you're taking something away from them. You're taking that thing away from them that they've been working so hard to get towards, which is acceptance from our oppressors. So reading 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15 again, it says, love not the world. Salakia, that's not it. Verse 18? Oh, verse 16, Salakia. 1 John chapter 2 and verse 16, it says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. So, you know what I mean? These desires that you feel to want to get this compassion from your oppressors is not of the Most High. You know what I mean? The Most High wants you to be separate. The Most High wants you to get into your culture, which is in this Bible. You know what I mean? Your culture is in this Bible. Your covenant, your promise to the Lord is in this Bible. And the things that you're supposed to do as far as the way that you live on your day-to-day lifestyle, the things that you should do and the things that you shouldn't do are in this Bible as well. You know what I mean? And that's what we have to get into. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to dwell back into our kingdom, to be back on top, because we're never going to be on top by, you know what I mean, doing the same dumb things that we've been doing. Trying to find that acceptance, trying to live in a way where people would like us, our oppressors would like us. Like living in that type of way, that's just going to continue to keep us on the bottom. Because look at their nation now. You know what I mean? Look at our oppressors' nation now. We thought that this was a unbeatable nation, but look at how it is. And this is just the beginning of songs. This is not really something. This really it hasn't really hit home yet. You know what I mean? You can tell it hasn't hit home because no one's really in a panic right now. Everybody's still kind of asleep and still stuck into their comfort zones and still trying to live the same ways and just trying to get by. But so really it hasn't hit home yet. There's going to be a time period where you're not going to get the privilege of staying into your comfort zone. You're going to be completely out of your comfort zone. You're going to be in a position where you facing life or death. You know what I mean? Where you're not going to be able to sit there and just get a nice home cooked meal for your children. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things are going to happen to this nation, and these are just signs of the times. And the Lord's trying to warn us that he's on his way. He is en route. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is warning the world that he's en route, and there's going to be complete change to how this world is organized and how this world is governed. You know what I mean? Because he's creating a government as we speak. He's waking these brothers up. He's getting them in all black. He's getting them their Hebrew names. He's getting them their rankings as officers. He's waking his government up. And the government just keeps getting bigger and bigger and stronger as days go by. And as things keep getting worse, it's easier for this government to be able to grow, because people are realizing that everything that I've desired in this nation, all the ways of living that I wanted so much in this nation are not really realistic. It's not really it's just no different than social media of people posting the things that they want you to see. You know what I mean? But really, the things that is going on in this nation that is really like deteriorating this place is not even being broadcasted. It's not even being put out there, unless it's just so bad to the point where they ain't got no choice but on trying to hide it anymore. You know what I mean? But all in all, at the end of the day, you know what I mean, the Lord's destroying this place day by day, even more and more and more day by day. And you can see it in the grocery stores. You can see it at the gas stations. You can see it in your monthly mortgage or rent. You can see it that they're trying to tax us so much just to get them afloat, still to be on their feet, as far as being the one of the most wealthiest nations. But really, the way that we're living, you don't see wealth in this place. You really see distress in this place. You don't see wealth. You see that this place is taxing us whenever they got an issue, just to try to keep themselves afloat. So now that everything is starting to become overpriced, everything. You know what I mean? From water to food to, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure pretty soon they're going to try to find a way to tax the air we breathe. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try to say, oh yeah, well, there's too much pollution and we're going to have to tax y'all in order for y'all to have clean societal air to breathe. And if we don't tax you guys, then you guys won't have clean air to breathe. Like that's just an example of how bad it can get here. You know what I mean? They're taxing us for everything that we do on our day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? And they make it seem as if it's just, oh yeah, well, we're just trying to get this together. We're just trying to get this together. No, they're doing these things so they can stay afloat as far as their position of being who they are or their reputation. So we, the people who live here in this place, who make this place run, have to suffer for the reputation of this place. You know what I'm saying? So you have to. So that's why I'm saying it's easier for our people to. It's getting easier for our people to step out because they're starting to see that this American dream is very untrue, and it's very wicked, and it's very detrimental to step out of that spirit of America. You know what I mean? Especially at this time period, and it's just gonna continue to keep getting easier. Hey, Shalom says, what's going on? So you know what I'm saying? That just puts more men in the Lord's army. You know what I'm saying? Because there's pretty much really nothing left to turn to as far as a goal to try to thrive and get in this place. The goal is done. There is no goal that is to try to run towards as far as like the American dream. So where do you go to? You know what I mean? You go back into your culture. Because when you really suffering real bad, you always turn back to the Lord. You know what I mean? You always turn back to the Lord, even when you're in the world. You know what I'm saying? You suffering too much, you always go back to the Lord. When a brother gets locked up and put in prison for years, before and after he gets locked up, he's finding a spiritual source. You know what I'm saying? And that's just because, you know what I mean, that's how our people are. I mean, that's how we were in the time of Egypt. You know what I mean? Things had to get real tough for us in order for us to try to grasp onto the Most High. You know what I mean? To cry onto the Most High. Things had to get real bad for us. So that's how it's going to become out in this nation as well. When things get real bad for us, we continue to keep dying, we continue to keep suffering, we continue to keep slaving, then, you know what I mean, people are going to have no choice but to cry onto for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Which honestly, you know what I mean, the more noble route is to do it without having to suffer. You know what I mean? Without having to suffer, to be able to try to find out who the true power is. You know what I mean? That's a more righteous way of doing it. But that's just how stiff-necked our people are. They have to suffer in order for them to be able to try to find some type of solution spiritually. Because it always leads spiritually. You know what I'm saying? But what was that? So lust is not of the Father. You know what I mean? The Lord did not want us to lust after things. The Lord, everything that we are supposed to have, the Lord provides for us. You know what I'm saying? So there's no point of us having to lust for something when we already have the things that we're supposed to have. You know what I mean? That's why it's also important to humble yourself. That's like it. So let's go to Psalms 81 and 12. The book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 12. Let's see. Did we already do this one? All right, so the book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 12 through 14. The book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 12 says, "So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels." So your own heart's lust. He gave the things that we were lusting in our minds. I mean, the heart is a mind. The things that we lust, the things that we wanted, we desired in our mind, which is the things that we have a big issue with in this society now, which getting back into the example of social media and everything like that. You know what I mean? Advertisements, social media, all that stuff like that. The things that we lust for, the Lord gave us to those things. You know what I mean? Oh that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways. So instead of us wanting to, you know what I mean? Instead of us wanting to hearken unto the Lord, which was what I was just saying about, like, it's more noble to just go to the Lord without having to suffer. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we would hearken unto the Lord, which is what the scripture is going to, you know what I mean? The Lord, all of our issues that we had, that we felt like we needed to desire for things, all those things that we wanted that were righteous, we would have had already. And we would in any type of battle that we were facing, you know what I mean, any type of battle that we face, if we hearken unto the Lord, all those battles would have already been won by now. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord being our solution to everything, you know what I mean, that lust can be a distraction. The things that you think that you want, that you really don't need, the things that you think that are really evil to you. You know what I mean? The lust of your flesh, the things that you want are really distracting you into the things that you're supposed to do in order to get the things that you need. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. And Israel had walked in my ways, I should soon have scheduled their enemies and turned my hand against their adversaries. So all those battles that you faced, all those things that you were going through, which was like probably poverty and, you know what I mean, violence and, you know what I mean, what can I say? Separation for success and success and what is the word I'm looking for? Success and destruction. You know what I mean? Those things that we don't like, us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, those things that we are not being able to be put in position as far as like, you know what I mean, having some type of success, having some type of, you know what I mean, of fruitfulness to our lives. You know what I'm saying? Having those types of things, we could have already been having those things if we would have just followed the ways of the Most High. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I'm not saying that you can't, well, I mean, it's a lot of success stories of people who don't even have the truth in them. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, those people have some of the most biggest issues ever because money is fake. You know what I mean? American success is fake because all in all, at the end of the day, yeah, you probably have a subtle lifestyle, but at the end of the day, your how can I say, your day in and day out life, because it's so shaky, because you can have it and lose it in one day. You can have it and it'll be gone the next day. So it's so shaky that, you know what I mean, you try, so your whole mind, your whole focus, your whole lifestyle is based on keeping the things that you have. You know what I mean? And your whole process of everything that goes on in your life is keeping those things that you have, because it's so easy to lose those things in this society that, you know what I mean, you're living a lifestyle where it's just like, you know what I mean, it's like cradling a newborn baby. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you might have a lot, but it's so fragile, and it's just so like, you know what I mean? It's like stepping on eggshells. Like you could lose it at any time period. You can lose it from taxes. You can lose it from, you know what I mean, making the wrong business investment. You can lose it in plenty of different ways. And it's just like, you're trying so hard in order to keep the things that you have. It's like, you know what I mean? It puts so much pressure on you that you have bigger issues in your life, and you're not even really focusing on the things that are in front of you that could bring you a righteous lifestyle. You're focusing on the things that you can do to continue to keep having this success in your life. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it puts you on edge, it puts you on 10, and it's just like, it's a very stressful lifestyle. Majority of the people don't even get to keep their success. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people who were millionaires at one time period that's sitting over there in Skid Row in some tent somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's only because, you know what I mean, they were one of them people who just wasn't able to continue to keep that lifestyle that they were living, because it's so fragile. You know what I mean? It's a fragile lifestyle. Like you could have it and you can lose it in one day. Let's keep going. So Psalms 81 is talking about you know what I mean, the Lord, like these things that, it's the lust that distracted us, and the lust that pulled us away from the Most High, the things that we wanted, we desired, that pulled us away from the Most High, when all those things that we needed, we could have had if we would have just followed the Lord. You know what I mean? And all of those battles that we faced could have been won already if we would have just followed the Lord, right? Okay, so let's keep going. So let's go to James 1 and 15. The book of James, chapter 1 and 15. The book of James, chapter 1 and 15 says, then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. So, I mean, we already got into that. You know what I mean? Those things that you desire lead you into lusting over something. Those things that you lust for lead you into, you know what I mean, doing them continuously, consistently. And those things lead you into death, or lead you into sin, and then sin leads you into death. Because, you know what I mean, if you overdo anything, it can become a sin. You know what I mean? Anything. If you overdo anything, it can become a sin. Because, you know what I mean, even though even the lawful things, because even if it's lawful, it shouldn't be expedient. You know what I'm saying? So if you overdo something, it can always lead you into sin. So those things that you lust over, okay, so what is that process I was saying? You know what I mean? Desiring something, you know what I mean? Desiring meaning like, you know what I mean, that see something that you want. You know what I mean? Whether if that's like fame, money, you know what I mean, women, whether if it's materialistic things, cars, houses, clothes, you know what I mean? Those things that you want are going to lead you into lusting for them, because especially as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? Because those things are like the hardest things for us to get to, you know what I mean? Like a lot of us remember having to shop at like, you know what I mean, like clothes stores, $10 and under clothes stores, you know what I mean? The Walmarts and Paylesses and all that stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because of the situation that we have in this country. You know what I mean? The situation that we have in this country is that the majority of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are starting from the bottom, trying to work ourselves up. You know what I mean? Because we came out of slavery trying to build ourselves up. You know what I mean? Without no help, without no type of, you know what I mean, reparations or anything like that. We've been trying to work ourselves from the ground up. And that's why a majority of us are still in poverty and ghettos and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we had no help, or we had no guidance out of coming out of slavery. You know what I mean? Being treated like pigs and dogs, and having our whole brains just taken away from us. You know what I'm saying? As far as just like being educated and having knowledge. But at the end of the day, we still turned out to be the greatest people on this planet. Why? Is because, you know what I mean, we're God's chosen. Now, majority of us might still be in ghettos and everything like that, but you find like people go to ghettos just to find where cool is at. People go to ghettos to find out where trend is at. Why do they do that? Because really we're the salt of the earth. You know what I'm saying? People want to walk and talk just like us. And we sit over here. That's why it's just like our oppressors are so wicked, because we try so hard to appease them, but all in all, at the end of the day, they go out of their way to make sure that they do something that we do, that they dress the way we dress, or talk the way that we talk, or do something, because really cool comes from us. You know what I mean? Culture comes from us. Style comes from us. You know what I mean? So this oppressor really hates you because he wants to be like you. And this is biblical too. You know what I'm saying? Because in the Bible, what is he? You know what I'm saying? He's that serpent that tries to get you to do everything outside of God in order for him to take your place on this earth, which is being in power, to being at rule. He can't be at rule if we are all following God's statutes and commandments. If we know who we are, if we know what our power is, you know what I'm saying? He can't be at rule if you are not destroyed. If you are not trying in some type of way of sinning, he can't be at rule. He needs you to sin. He needs you to disobey the Most High. He needs you to do anything or desire anything that is outside of the Most High, which is why this nation is the way it is today. You know what I mean? This whole LGBTQ thing, all this confusion and this dysfunctional thinking and all that stuff like that, all that is pushed on you because your oppressor he can't rule if you are thinking straight. If you are really that's why his main focus was to get us not to read. You know what I'm saying? His main focus was to get us not to read while we were in slavery. Why? Is because he wants to push his knowledge on you. He wants you to know what he wants you to know. Because what happened with the slaves who did know how to read? You got your Nat Turners and everybody like that. They rebelled. You know what I mean? Because they figured out who the true Jews were. You know what I mean? Who God's chosen people were, what God's true word was. You know what I'm saying? He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. That's what they were figuring out. It wasn't that, oh yeah, you need to serve your master and whoop-de-whoop, like all those things that they used to try to manipulate our mindset. It wasn't those things. They found out that the Most High really is with the people who, you know what I mean, were destroyed the most. The people who were put in the position where, or put themselves in the position of disobeying him, so they had to be under the curses. You know what I'm saying? So that's why all of this confusion and all of this lustful, just all this whole freaking, you know what I mean, the porn industry, the music videos of the Suckianas and all that crap like that. They need you to they give these people success because they need you to want to try to try to captivate and try to grasp onto that lifestyle. Because if you're not sinning, then he can't rule. That's why sin is at an all-time high right now, because he knows that his time is short and he knows that his time is coming to an end. Really, it's just like they really want you to do everything that is sinful. They want you to, you know what I mean? That's why they allow you to have these gay parades, and you can you know what I mean, be as naked as possible, you know what I mean, amongst a whole bunch of different little children. And mind you, like I've seen clips of the news showing those pride parades, and it was a lot of naked people, and people were bringing their daughters, like 6-7 years old, their children, and just allowing them to try to wave those rainbow flags and try to be a part of that whole lifestyle. It's just like these people looked a whole mess. It looked like a whole mess. And they advertise that because, and they make it seem as if that's why they say his words are smoother than butter. You know what I'm saying? They made it seem as if it was just so, like, it was so prideful. Like it was such a good thing that was happening. People of different sex orientations wanted to come together and just enjoy themselves. Lesbians and homosexuals and transsexuals, and you know what I mean, unicorns and all that other BS that they got going on. All these different things, right? So it's crafty counsel. You know what I'm saying? Like they put all of this stuff down to try to make it seem as if it was just so great that they were there, and that the children were there having a good time, waving their flags, and everybody was just loving their lifestyles of, you know what I mean, being homosexual. And it was advertised that way. It's because they need you to feel that spirit. And you already know the majority of people that was out there was our people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I mean? That little girl that I seen, that was a little Judite girl. You know what I'm saying? And thanks to her two mamas, she has to grow up destroyed just like them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's really, and it was two Edomite men with a little black son, a 5-year-old black son. And it's like, it puts such a fire in your chest. Like, you want to come and save your people. It's just like, it's like it's the stubbornness and the stupidity of our people that just keeps us within this ways of living that is just terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're literally being destroyed in this society, but we want to create our own type of culture of sin within this place, trying to create a root in this place. And it's just like, this place is done for. And they're still trying to make it seem as if it's like, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, well, you want to put all your all into this place because that's going to be the thing that gets you acceptance, or gets you. Our people do so much to find acceptance from our oppressors, and we'll sit over here and we'll allow our trauma, you know what I mean, our trauma to overtake us, to create our sexuality, and to put us in a position where we are in a position where we are being liked by our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like, and I mean, it's really just like tough to get into, like, honestly, like, because it wasn't no different from the time period when Christ was on earth. It's no different than the time period where Moses was on earth. It's no different than the time period when Noah was on earth. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these different pioneers, like, you know what I'm saying? And our people were still acting the same way. You know what I mean? But let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna get into we're gonna get into let's get into Tamar and Amnon. Okay. So this brother right here, you know what I mean? This brother right here had a desire to sleep with his own sister. Now, these are King David's children. You know what I'm saying? This brother had a desire to sleep with his own sister. His desire became a lust. And his lust led him into, you know what I mean? His lust led him into sinning, which was raping the sister. You know what I'm saying? He rapes the sister, and that decision leads him into regret. It led him into sin because, you know what I mean, he slept with his sister, and it eventually is going to lead him into his death because of the thing that he did. You know what I mean? He's going to die because of the sin he committed, because he felt like fulfilling that lust, even though he knew it was wrong. You know what I mean? He knew it was wrong to sleep with his sister, but because of how beautiful she was, which was, did we get into that? Lust not after, don't lust after the looks of a woman. Let me see. I could have sworn I had that. So like, I thought I had that. I probably didn't, so it's all good. But the Lord tells you not to lust after a beautiful woman. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Because just lusting after a woman's beauty, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Beauty is just, first of all, it's temporary. And then not just that, it's something that is just, it's not something that should be, it's not something that should be lusted after. You can look at someone and just be like, oh, that, you know what I mean? If you were brother, you look at a sister and say, oh yeah, she's beautiful. But if that sister's married, what are the thoughts that go after that? You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be a thought that goes after that. Oh yeah, okay, she's married. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful sister. She's married. Okay, nothing else after that. You know what I mean? What if that person is a heathen? There shouldn't be no thoughts of beauty after that. There shouldn't be no thoughts of like anything after that. It's just, you know what I mean? It like the Lord says not to lust after a beautiful woman. You know what I mean? So if you're sitting over here and you're lusting, like even Christ says, like, you know what I mean? If you're lusting after somebody's wife, then to sleep with her. If you're lusting after someone's wife, you are sinning. You're committing adultery. You know what I mean? That's what Christ said. You know what I'm saying? So you could see something or someone that's beautiful and just be like, all right, well, yeah, you're beautiful. Okay. And there shouldn't be a thought after that, because now our brothers are like looking at all of these, you know what I mean, IG models and all this stuff like that, these OnlyFansers and everything like that, and brothers are lusting after them. They desire to be with them. They desire to be with someone who looks like them, or be, you know what I mean, like not even knowing. Like I seen a post today where they posted like all of the transsexuals and how they looked back when they was younger as boys. You know what I'm saying? So that look that you're desiring, that you want so much, that's the average look for a transsexual. And who did that? Your oppressors. You know what I'm saying? They wanted all of our women to get all this plastic surgery and these lip fillers and all that stuff like that to look as fake as possible, because it's easy to slide through the cracks that LGBTQ community. You know what I mean? Because it's easy for everyone to be able to look alike, because we all have this, they all have the same look. You know what I mean? That fake butt, fake breasts, fake face, fake lips, fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake nails, fake makeup, and all that stuff like that. That's the new look as far as when it comes to beauty, because they want to, you know what I mean? It's now you don't know what gender a woman is anymore, like, or what she started as, because they all look alike. You know what I'm saying? That whole lip filler type of look, that's the transsexual look. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, you know what I mean, the transsexuals are the most beautiful because their look is the most accepted amongst women these days. Women don't even know what they should and what they should look like. Women don't even know what they should look like because the goal is to look like a transsexual. That whole long, you know what I mean, 50-inch weave, blonde wig, and all that stuff like that, the lace front and all that stuff, and with the fake eyelashes and the skimpy outfits with the fake butts and fake breasts and fake face and all that stuff, like that's the new norm look. And that's an easy look for transsexuals. You know what I'm saying? Transsexuals, that was their look before women felt like that was popular. You know what I mean? Now they're using their lingual. You know what I mean? The periods and it's giving me vibes, them type of vibes, like all that. That's all LGBTQ community type stuff. Now women think that they're independent and that they have control of themselves and that they're able to move, walk, talk, and do certain things a certain type of way. But really, that type of look and lingual and lifestyle is being pushed on you because they want their community to be accepted, which is the transsexuals, because you're not doing anything different than what they were doing behind closed doors before transsexual lifestyle was popular. All that stuff was already, that look and that way of living and all that stuff like that, the way they talk and the way they act and dress and all that fake stuff and all that stuff like that, that was already being done before it was popular on television, before the Kardashians start to do it, before, you know what I mean, the Nicki Minaj's and Cardi B's was doing it. Like all that look, that was a distinctive look for transsexuals. That lingual, the period, the is giving me that type of vibe, all that lingual, that's old to them. They were already on that already. That's old lingual, that's old look. That's you one step behind a transsexual. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, that's because of the lust of women wanting to be materialistic in this society. They want the nice trips and the nice cars and the nice everything. So they were willing to follow the lifestyle of a transsexual in order to be able to get those things, right? All right, so let's get into 2 Samuel chapter 13. 2 Samuel chapter 13 and verse 1. So we don't get into Amnon. Now Amnon he desired his sister. His desire turned into a lust, and to the point where he needed to sin in order to be able to have her, because he knew he couldn't have his sister. He knew his sister was never going to be able to want him like willingly. So he forced himself on her, and eventually that decision is the lead up to his demise, because he died for that. You know what I mean? So I'll just try to make this as quick as possible. I'm just going to read through it. I'll clarify certain things that's in the scriptures, but as far as time goes, I'm trying to get this done within like 15 minutes. I was going to get into Sodom and Gomorrah, but I'll just talk about Sodom and Gomorrah real quick before I read the story. So Sodom and Gomorrah with Lot, you know what I mean? The men lusted over the two angels that came over to get Lot out of the city before the city was destroyed. You know what I mean? It wasn't just the men, it was the children and old men also. You know what I mean? The lust was so heavy within that society, that within those cities, the lust was so heavy that even the children and the old men were stampeded to try to rape those two angels, because they were new face within their city. Everybody else was all raping each other. They knew of each other. They were known to each other. They did God knows what all to each other. You know what I mean? Women, men, children, all of that. They did everything they could. So that when they seen those two new faces, they said, okay, we got some new booty, you know what I'm saying, up in this place. So we about to go take it. You know what I'm saying? So that their lust, they were so lustful to the point where, you know what I mean, even the angels blinded the people, and they were just on the floor looking around, like tapping around, trying to find them. That's how lustful that they were. And that's why that place had to be destroyed. And that's what lust can lead you into, that animalistic type of mindset where you just, you know what I mean, you can be sitting over there blind and you'll still be trying to fulfill that lust so much, you'll just be tapping around just trying to find the ankle of that person you was looking for. You know what I mean? Just so you can continue to try to rape them or do what you was gonna do with them. You know what I mean? And that's what lust can lead you into. So that's why it's mandatory for you, if you're gonna have a desire to do anything, have a desire to serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Have a desire to please the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to have a desire to do, because anything else is just you just being out of pocket, and you're gonna be in a position where you know what I mean, you got a spirit on you that you can't get off. But let's get into it. Okay, so 2 Samuel chapter 13. 2 Samuel chapter 13 and verse 1. So 2 Samuel chapter 13, verse 1. And it came to pass after this, that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, whose name was Tamar. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her. And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin. So, okay. So, Amnon had a love for her, you know what I mean? Meaning he had a desire for her, you know what I mean? And he wanted to be with her. And he was so vexed that he felt sick. Like he was just like sick. Like he was just like, man, I need to be with this woman. Like I need to be with her. And even though she's my sister, I just feel like I need to be with her. Like she's just so, because it says that she was a virgin, which meaning that she was a woman of marriageable age. Not that she was like, not that she never had sex before. Well, she didn't have sex before, but you know what I mean? The virgin in that sense is just that she was of that age. She was at that age of marriage, right? And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shemaiah. Is it Shimea? David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man. And he said unto him, why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister, which still is his sister too. You know what I mean? He's saying it in that manner to try to to water it down a little bit, but he really just should have said because I have a love for my sister, Tamar, because that was his sister too. You know what I'm saying? They all got the same daddy. So, okay, so where am I at? Verse 5. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. So he wants his dad to send his sister to make it seem like he's like ill and he's sick and he's weak, and he wants his sister to be pretty much like the one that takes care of him. You know what I mean? So he's setting everybody up to put himself in position to be close to her where nobody's around them. So verse 6, it says, so Amnon lay down and made himself sick, and when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress him meat. So Tamar went to Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house. So it says her brother Amnon's house. So, you know what I mean? Him trying to make it seem like that it was just his brother's sister, Like, you know what I mean? The Bible's actually clarifying, like, okay, that is his sister. You know what I mean? As much as he's trying to make it seem like, you know what I mean, he's in the right because it's just his half brother's sister, that is still, they're all King David's children. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan and poured them out before him, and he refused to eat. And Amnon said, "Have out all men from me." And they went out every man from him. So he's getting rid of everybody. He's setting up the situation. And Amnon said unto Tamar, "Bring the meat unto the chamber, and that I may eat of thine hand." And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, "Come lie with me, my sister." And she answered him, "Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel." So she's already letting them know, like, you know what I mean, this is a sin. You sitting over here trying to sleep with your own sister. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the ways of Israel. Like, this is wicked to the Lord. You know what I mean? For you to sit here and try to pursue me like that. So he says, "Do not thou this folly, and whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee." So she's trying to make it seem as if, you know what I mean, because King David's a solid brother. King David would have took care of that situation instantly if he would have found out before it happened. You know what I mean? She's trying to get him to go to his father to go tell him about it, so she's making it seem as if he'll accept the marriage, pretty much. But King David, if he would have went to King David and told him of what he was planning on doing or wanted to do to his sister, King David would have took care of that situation so quickly. And she tried to plot and have that situation be done before he tried to force himself on her. You know what I mean? But he was kind of like, pretty much, well, okay, we'll get into it. So verse 14, it says, "Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but brain stronger than she, forced her and laid with her." So he raped her. He didn't fall for what she was talking about, and he raped her at that situation. So then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, "Arise, be gone." So that verse 15 is very, very important, because you see the lust for and everything that he wanted from her, because technically he loved her, supposedly, but really he was just lusting. He was just lusting over her. Why do you know that he was just lusting? He didn't love her in a way that he wanted to be with her, because he didn't want to be with her after he raped her. Really, he just had, he was just lusting over her because of her beauty. You know what I mean? And that verse is very, very important, is because once he did what he did with her, he hated her more than when he loved her. Why? Is because that spirit left him. You know what I mean? Once he did what he had to do, and he lusted so much to the point where he had to rape his own sister, that spirit left him. And that lust was no more. Really, he was just in love with the lust. He was in love with the desire. He was in love with the mindset that he was putting in his head, that, oh, they were going to, you know what I mean, he was going to have this beautiful woman, and they were going to, you know what I mean, have children and live in a farm somewhere, and, you know what I mean, they was going to, you know what I mean, make passionate love with each other, and all that stuff like that. Everything that he was putting in his head, that was all part of that wicked spirit, that lust that he had. You know what I mean? And once he was able to fulfill that lust, you know what I mean, he hated her, and he told her to leave. He said, "Be gone, arise and be gone." But she, knowing what happened, You know what I mean? This is Israel culture. She knew like that's my husband now. I mean, he did what he did with me, but at the end of the day, I can't be with I can't just leave and go be with somebody else because of what he did to me, which is why she tried to warn him before he did what he did. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going. And it says on verse 16, and she said unto him, there is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him and said, put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. And she had a garment of divers colors upon her. So, okay, for the sake of time, you know what I mean, he tried to do away with her. What he did was he just locked her in a room and just said, you know what I mean, like I'm not about to sit here and have to deal with this woman. Like this is just terrible. This is my sister. Like this is disgusting, and I can't be having this reputation of a man who's married to his sister, and this is just horrible. And I mean, all these things that he should have thought about before he fell into his lust. But at the end of the day, he did what he did because he was so deep into his lust that he was vexed that he wasn't able to be with her. You know what I mean? He was sick because he wasn't able to be with her. And that's what your lust could lead you into. That's why it's important to know the difference between right and wrong. Now, what happens? You know what I mean? Absalom, he kills him because, you know what I mean, you just raped my sister. You know what I'm saying? He finds out from his sister that, you know what I mean, he raped her. So what does he do? He sets him up in a position where he's able to get to him and kill him. And that's exactly what he does. He kills his own brother because, you know what I mean, what the evil that he did to his sister. And she was so heartbroken because she felt like, you know what I mean, I have to stick with this man because, you know what I mean, I had sex with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though he forced himself on me, like I had sex with him. So I can't just, I'm defiled now by this man. You know what I mean? So she was heartbroken. She told Absalom, and Absalom handled the situation and killed his big brother. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the Bible and the scriptures are telling you. Your lust is going to lead you into sin, and that sin is going to lead you eventually into death, right? So that's why it's important to know the right and the wrongs and to have a certain desire for the most righteous things, right? Have a desire for the righteous things, not so much for the things that you're not supposed to be doing. Have a desire for the righteous things. And if it's of the Most High, then it's righteous. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important to get into this body, get into these scriptures, get into this body, figure out what is the rights and the wrongs, and figure out what your true desire should be at. Because the desires that you have for things that are of your flesh are going to lead you into sinning, and then that sin is going to lead you into eventually dying. You know what I mean? And that's the judgment of what comes when you sin. You know what I mean? So don't allow lust to lead you into sin. But with that, I'm gonna say shalom, Yahabah Shem Yahshab, shalom, Yahabah Shem Yahshab, thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shamar, thumb Shem Yahshab to the sisters. The water for tuning in.